Good morning. I'm Dr. Clara Brent, and I'm asking that you will come out on next Sunday at 11139 Homestead Road on the corner of Harper and Homestead. We are going to talk about a go-to man this morning, but I know that a go-to man is an important part of our homes and our neighborhood as well as our country. We thank you so much for being with us, and I look forward to seeing you on next Sunday. God bless you now. Many times in our Christmas season, we kind of overlook Joseph and mostly focus on Mary. But it had not been for Joseph, Jesus would not have been here. And it wasn't nothing to do with sexuality. It had to do with a go-to man. God had to have chosen Joseph for a special reason, to protect his only begotten son from danger, hurt, and harm. We must keep in mind that Satan knew Jesus was going to be born, and he tried his best to kill him before he grew up. Don't ever think that that did not happen, because Satan is just as real as God is real. He's just as real as Jesus is real. And don't let him fool you into thinking that he has nothing to do with the things that causes what's going on in our lives every day. He does. God has allotted him to do just that. And Joseph, being a man of integrity, was chosen by God to take care of Mary and Jesus. Now, in the books of the gospel, it doesn't give you a lot of insight on Joseph's history. But I looked it up. I went back into the old Gnostic part where they talked about Joseph, where Joseph was known as Saint Joseph. He was a descendant of David. He was of the royal family. However, the royal family was not in office. The Romans had taken over. Herod had been appointed, an off-brand Jew, I call him, and he had been appointed over the Jews. Joseph also was a carpenter, which most of us know, but we don't know, most of us, is that he was a priest in the temple, and that he was chosen by the priest to have Mary as his wife. And Mary was only 12 years old when Joseph took her as his wife. And she stayed with in his home for 2 years. And after those 2 years, she was 14 years old. He still had her as his betrothed wife. Now we have to understand that what we do now is different from what they did then. See, when to be betrothed to a man now is considered as an engagement. It was more than that with Mary and Joseph. In their time, when you were betrothed to a man, that child or those children were considered as having that person as their wife and that other person as the husband. They did not sway from that. Today we can just give our engagement ring back and say, I want it back. You and I don't click together. We don't have anything in common, so I don't want to get married. So you give the ring back and everything is over. Then everything was not over. Joseph and stood by Mary when she was 14. That's when she had Jesus. That's when she conceived Jesus. And a lot of us, we be talking about 21, 22. No. She was very young. She was a teenager. And Joseph was an older man. He had 4 children. And the way we read it in the Bible is as if he and Mary had those 4 boys and those 2 girls. But he had children before Mary had Christ. And when he came back, he went off to do his business because he was a carpenter and he was in business. He came back home. He found Mary pregnant. Mary, can you see her now? A teenager, 14 years old, trying to explain to a man that it's not what you think. It was an angel that visited me, told me that I was going to have a child. But let's just back up a little bit here. See, Mary, being chosen by God, her mother could not have children. And when she had Mary, she gave Mary to the government, the priests. And she grew up in the temple. And that's how Joseph got her, because the priest was seeing that she was growing up as a woman and she needed not to be in the temple. And then by that happening, Mary tells him that God has accepted me as the carrier of his child. It's not no man. Now she trying to explain this to Joseph, and Joseph trying to understand that I can't see this. I can't see where God could take and put something in you and you pregnant. I can't see that. And she's saying, but he did. Can y'all see it now? But he did. I look at the television on Murray. Sometimes I can catch Murray during the summer. And you got these ladies, they come on the TV and they don't know who the dad is. They be trying to find who the daddy is and all this other stuff. And he's the daddy. And he says, no, I'm not. And then they find out you are the daddy. And then sometimes they find out he's not the daddy. But Mary says, God is the daddy. And Joseph says, no, he not. And he leaves Mary and goes by himself and he prays. This is where we are now. He's praying. He's thinking. And he's hurt. Can you see it, Brother Basil? You being hurt that your wife have a child and you know it ain't yours. You see. And you all messed up in the mind. What should I do? Some men get so upset they feel like killing a woman. They get so upset they feel like beating her up. And sometimes they do. They get so upset that they don't want to have nothing to do with that woman. Can you feel how Joseph feels today? A go-to man now. He's a go-to man. And Joseph says, I don't know what to do with her. I don't want to hurt her. I don't want to give her to the priest, because what they going to do, they going to stone her because she has gone into adultery. She's going to be killed, and the baby on the inside of her going to be killed. And what if she is telling me the truth? then I'll heal him too. Now see, a go-to man will think about all those things. Go-to man won't get upset fast. He concentrates and he meditates, and then he goes to God and talks to God about a decision that he ought to make. See, that's a go-to man. And Joseph done just that. And he said, well, it seems like I can't hear from God. This is what I'm going to do. He said, sometimes we take matters into our own hands too fast. Wait on the Lord. And Joseph said, well, I think I just put her away. I won't get her killed, and I don't want to kill the baby, and she could be telling me the truth. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put her away quietly. We're going to go to another country, and I'm going to divorce her. You know how we go to Las Vegas and we get married? You want a fast marriage? Go to Vegas. You want a fast divorce? Go to Vegas. And Joseph was thinking about, maybe we can go to a country like Vegas, and I can get a divorce. And then we would come back, it would be just like nothing happened. She just had that baby by herself. And I won't have nothing, and I won't get killed because I won't be implemented in it. Took a little nap. Sometimes we get so heavy burden we have to take naps. Have you ever been that way? You've been so down, you've been so out, and seem like you might be saying, oh, I sure could have me a good strong drink. Maybe that'll help me out. Oh, I could have me some good old weefer. Maybe that would help me out to think about how I can get out of this thing. And we all go that way. And don't be thinking y'all so uppity and out of it and holy and thou. Because all of us go that way sometime. And then Joseph took something differently. He took a nap. He went to sleep, fighting his anxiety. And during his nap, an angel came to him and told him, don't put her away. She's telling you the truth. You're a go-to man. You're the one that God has chosen to take care of his son. Go-to man won't leave. Go-to man won't stop and think about what is best for me and not for somebody else. That's a go-to man. A go-to man will take on full responsibility, even though he knows it's not his. He's going to take on that full responsibility. That's a go-to man. Joseph felt like he was the man. I used to hear my daddy come in the house and he was talking about, I'm the man. I'm the man. And when he said, I'm the man, he meant that he brought in the money. He got hold of the house. Everything was brought in through him, and he would say, I am the man. But one day my granddaddy came in and visited us.